alumni. He's representing Sound of Heaven Ministries in Deer Park, New York. Evangelist Bobby Riedel has worked alongside the World WWE for the last 20 years and has his own talent agency, Integrity Bookings. He has appeared on TBN and The Jim Baker Show. He travels as a light in the dark places of entertainment, Broadway, Hollywood, pro wrestling. He went to Christian school from K through 12. He sings and is an administrator for an array of ministries. He's the evangelist for the Sounds of Heaven Ministries in Deer Park under Apostle Johnny Ova. The goal is to restore the fivefold ministry and start a love revolution. This young man has really minimized all the accomplishments and the places that God has allowed him to go to and go through. I know that he is representing Ty Trebet and a number of other Christian artists. He has been a light and a beacon. He's also went to school to be a teacher, and he's a certified teacher. But he has taken on the calling for the fivefold ministries and teaching the Word of God. I'm so excited to hear him. Would you all please stand as we welcome Evangelist Bobby Riedel as he talks about
I took this just in case the spirit may break out again. I have to wipe myself down here. I've been doing it all night. They say the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So what better place to start than the Word, huh? The Word. I'm going to give you just 3 verses as a foundation, and I'm going to tell you how to apply it. I got the fruit of the Spirit named gentleness. Okay? So, here we go. 1 Timothy 1 Timothy 6:11. But you, man of God, flee from all of this and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. 2 Corinthians 10:1. Now I, Paul, beseech you by meekness and gentleness. 1 Thessalonians 2:7. But we were gentle among you, even as a nurse cherishes her children. We will win people over to the lifestyle of Christ through gentleness, through love, helpful advice that will lead them to spiritual maturity. This is the method that Paul used, exactly the method that Paul used. He didn't get abusive, he didn't grab people, he didn't shake people, he didn't point the finger. Now, how many Christians do you know point the finger? Did you see her up in the choir today? Look what she was wearing. Oh, I saw her at the movie theater. She was wearing. Isn't that gossip? That's not gentleness. I saw her wearing that clothes, that t-shirt. I get this all the time because I'm out in the world. Okay? But the Bible speaks about being in the world, but not of it. In the world, but not of it. Being relatable. We can win people to Christ by being relatable. Be all things to all men so you can save a few. And the foolish things can confound the wise. And let me tell you something. There's nothing more foolish than professional wrestling. And just to give you an example, I just got back from Montego Bay, Jamaica. And we set up a wrestling ring on Dump Up Beach. Has anybody been there? Dump Up Beach? Well, anyway, we did a Christian wrestling event. And we had 55,000 people come out to that event. And 21,000 and change got saved that night. Now that is foolish things that confound the wise. The Bible also says there's about, 1,700, I think it's 10 verses that speak about your hands. Okay? Now your hands are very important, obviously, if it speaks about it that much. So how many times do we see people, especially in the church world, going, right? Are we supposed to be the good Samaritan, the salt of the earth? Instead of going like this, go like this. How can I help you? Come as you are. Even Jesus For us, this next story, I like to apply stories so you can understand it. I got the privilege and the honor last April to fly to London. And it was an amazing, every devil in hell came to prevent me from going on this trip. The volcano went off, remember the volcano? And it stopped air traffic and all this other stuff. But we're speaking about gentleness, and I'm speaking, obviously the world is the world. And the church sometimes doesn't look much different. And I am proud to say that here tonight, number one, you're accepting me. Two, you guys definitely are an amazing group of people, an amazing church, and it's an honor to be here with all of you tonight, the leadership and every other speaker that spoke here tonight. Thank you very, very much. But I get to go to London, and I got to go over there to see Whitney Houston. Front row, dead center at the Oxygen Arena. What Whitney did not know was that I was really down there for a secret mission. And it was to pray for her and to lay hands on her. And I got that opportunity. And as I'm backstage, none of this is to brag, it's to understand something. Okay? As I got that opportunity and I went backstage and I was hugging her and I was holding her, we were rocking back and forth, and I was praying for her. She stopped what I was doing, like I would be praying over her, and she would chime in and finish the scriptures that I was speaking over her life. She knows the Word of God. All right. And don't let any paper or news thing tell you differently. It's her life is a testimony, and I'm not here to talk about Whitney Houston, but she has a bass player that she purposely hired as a pastor that can be on the road with her. They do 3-hour Bible studies a day when they're on tour. And the reason why I bring her up is because the church world was pointing the finger at her. Same thing with some of the other artists, the Patti LaBelles that are out there. Okay? What would happen if the church said, we're praying for you, Whitney. We're there for you if you fall. We're going to lift you right back up again and catch you and put you right back where you belong. Okay? When you fall down off the ladder, God does not start you back at the bottom again. He'll put you right back where you fell. He can do that. He's a restorer of all things. And some people think gentleness is a sign of being weak, or being timid, or spineless, and you're soft. It's strength. It's a strength under control. Matter of fact, Galatians 5:23, when it talks about gentleness, when you look it up in the Greek, it's actually talking about a wild horse that can be tamed by its master. Well, pretend that we're the master, and we just have to submit to the master. Okay? And the master then masters us to deal with the people that we want to judge. And there's a lot of people that need loving. It's not just the stars of the day. It's the outcasts of society. It's the gays. It's those that had an abortion. It's the ones that may not look correctly. We got to love them. Jesus said, come as you are. We don't have to like, just catch them. Let's just catch them. God will do the cleaning. Talk about it. That's it. And I know you guys know what it means to be persecuted at times. And you want to snip at people. Like you want to cut them sometimes. Don't you want to cut them? I mean, sometimes, like Evangelist Renee said, a church hurt, and I've had many, is the hardest to heal from. The absolute hardest. But gentleness is kind of like your secret weapon. If you can just, and it's such a cliche, but it's so true, if you can just let go of it, let God do it, because vengeance is His, it's not yours. And those people who are doing what they're doing to you, they will face their Maker. You don't have to do it to them. Let them face the consequences. It shows the power of God in you if you can let go of it. And believe me, I know it's hard. Especially from the Christian. Especially from the Christian. But if you can just stay silent and give it to Christ, He will deal with that person. Matter of fact, the Bible goes as far as to say, love those who persecute you. Pretty hard, huh? I would say so. But you don't have to be soft-spoken or intimidated as a Christian. It's time for us to stand up to the world. We sit down and we take it too much. Time to stand up. Look what the Lord has done. Isn't that a song? Uh-oh.
Yes.
This is going to get dancing here in a second. Don't tempt me. I brought this, remember? Get back now. Woo, feel that. It's finding a loving way and a kind way to do a tough thing by giving it to God. If you complain, you remain. Don't you complain. Move on to victory. Move on up the rough side of the mountain. It's easy. It's easy when you have God. But all things are possible with God. All things are made good if you are called to His purpose. Know this. This is God's promise for us. If you want to say something to someone who calls you a name, I'll take a line from Shirley Caesar to those religious Pharisees. Hold my mule. If we are to follow Christ's example, He said in Matthew 11:29, take this yoke upon you. I am gentle and humble in heart. Gentleness is humility. It differs from self-control in that it's God-controlled. And you're the one that can tap into it. He's the source for your life. And I just want to say thank you. That's gentleness. And this is an honor to be here. Thank you.
We put our hands together again for Gentleness right now. He said, if you complain, you remain. I caught that. That's in my spirit now. If you complain, you remain. That's deep in there. I promise you that. That's more than a cliche for me there, evangelist. I love that.